Has Bucky Barnes truly done the unthinkable? Has Steve lost him to the dark side and the outer circle? Well, let's hop into the pages of Captain America Sentinel of Liberty, issue number 6, and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, Winter Soldier, after discovering that his entire life had been puppeteered by codename the Revolution of the Outer Circle, had shot a bullet through Steve, killing the Revolution dead. Obviously, Cap is pretty horrified about what his friend has done right now, but at the same time, he doesn't think that he won't be able to talk him back. After all, it's gotta be a lot to take in the realization that every choice you've ever made from the time you were born to this very moment might not have been your own, but still, Bucky made a point to only shoot Steve in the shoulder, so maybe he was only temporarily insane. Bucky, however, very much disagrees with Steve, saying that he just doesn't understand the magnitude of what's going on right now. The Revolution and the Outer Circle haven't just manipulated his life, haven't just taken away his power to choose, they've done it to the entire world for generations. Their reach, their power, and resources are just too vast for any one person to understand, and Steve isn't going to defeat them the same way he's defeated other villains over the years, just by digging in his feet and hoping for the best. The only way to bring them down is to tear them out at the very root, and it's right here that Captain America and Winter Soldier end up having themselves a real difference of opinion and a real failure to communicate. Steve begs Winter Soldier to follow him out, but Bucky refuses, saying that he's going to stay behind, assume the Revolution's seat on the Outer Circle, and use that newfound power to destroy the Shadow Capital. Steve also says that he was only asking nicely before, because even with one bad shoulder, he still has it in him to bring Bucky in kicking and screaming should it come to that, and indeed, it comes to that. And man alive, do the two old friends have themselves a knockdown, drag-out fight all over the Shadow Capital, made even better by the fact that this entire segment is done without any dialogue. You know, I'll freely admit sometimes as a critic I get too hung up on dialogue and the written word. I forget sometimes that comics is every bit as much a visual medium as it is anything else, and it's fun to see the story told in that way. In the end, what we end up getting treated to is reversal of fortunes. Now it's Captain America hanging off a precipice and Bucky trying desperately to pull him back up. Much like what happened with them and the Rocket during the closing days of World War II, only this time Bucky willingly lets go of Steve's hand by dislocating his own arm. This means poor Captain America ends up careening down to the water below. He lives, but his heart is broken. If finding out the true dark origin of his own famous shield's creation wasn't bad enough, now the Outer Circle has actively stolen away Steve's oldest friend and ally from him. Still though, Bucky is more resolute than ever now that this is the only true way to defeat the Outer Circle once and for all and do away with their evil influence over the world. It's also the only way Bucky feels that he can truly take control of his life for the first time ever. No longer an assassin, no longer a star point, now he is the Revolution. And his choices will matter. You're also probably wondering to yourself, hey, why would the other members of the Outer Circle just let him in when they know he's a hero and is probably gonna want to take them all down? Well, that's kind of the thing about the Outer Circle. They've done nothing but win their entire existence, so they're pretty prideful. But will pride cometh before the fall, or will the corrupting nature of the Sentry game end up claiming Winter Soldier too? As the comic comes to a close, I don't actually have an answer. And so that was Captain America Sentinel of Liberty issue number 6, everybody, and man, as this first volume of this brand new creative team on Captain America comes to a close, they really do end up making some ballsy decisions. I know some people are already a little upset about this heel turn from Winter Soldier because they don't like seeing one of their favorite characters break bad and turn to the dark side, but to them I say, Bucky wasn't really doing much. It's kind of always been the problem with Winter Soldier as a character. Most writers only ever treat him as a Captain America light or Captain America also ran. This is genuinely a bold and exciting new direction for the character. One that actually uses his year's worth of moral complexity as a feature and not a bug. It also means as we enter the big Cold War crossover story that's going to feature this book and the Sam Cap book, it means that we basically have 3 generations of Captain America, all involved in one way or another in what is probably the biggest Captain America story since Secret Empire. I personally think Bucky had a pretty sympathetic reason to turn to the dark side like he did. He thinks that Steve is using one too many half measures. And as with most heel turns, it's not like it's gonna last forever or anything. I think think they actually did put a lot of thought and effort into this turn, too. I like the new costume right down to the evil man bun that lets you know this isn't the old Bucky. Again, I'd give this one a very positive 9 out of 10, and if you're not reading both of the Captain America books right now, you really should, because this is probably the most exciting, most compelling new era in the book in a very, very long time. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.